Okay, good morning. It's Monday morning, January the 4th of 2021. And something's been on my mind lately, trying to explain the desires that we have, the urges that we have. And I just this morning I had a conversation with someone about trying to understand about God. No, trying to understand. He was saying he was trying to understand religion, but the people he was talking to kept referring to God, and his intellect kept saying, "Well, yeah, of course it is. It is about God," but his intellect wanted to understand the process, and it was difficult for him to understand what I was saying because, and I'm just realizing this now, if you don't have faith, if you're unregenerate, if you're not spiritual at all, then the things of the spirit are foolishness to you. So to try to intellectualize God when God is spirit just doesn't work. And we try and try and we struggle and we try to get somebody to explain it so that we can understand it. And the whole thing is we're trying to understand carnally. We're trying to understand intellectually. We're trying to understand naturally when the things of God are not perceived that way. The things of God are perceived, understood spiritually. And we have to come in tune with Him on a spiritual level. And it's not going to make sense. I'll share something with you that the person I was talking to shared with me. He was invited to a church, and it was a Portuguese church, and he's not Portuguese. He did not understand anything that they were saying, but yet he felt God's presence. He didn't explain it that way, but I could tell he felt God's presence in that place when he was being prayed for, and didn't know what to do with the experience, because the way he understands everything is intellectually. That's the way he realizes everything. And so this one experience was like just totally kind of blew him away, because he felt the presence of God and didn't know what it was. Didn't know it was the presence of God. Figured this must be God, but you know, basically struggling with how do I access God without accessing God? How do I access God without going through the channels that everyone has told me I've got to go through? People think, and this was my point of actually starting this video. People think that moral laws are society's burden for people who don't want to follow them. And so they rebel against moral laws, thinking they're rebelling against society and the way society has things set up. And unfortunately, even though they don't understand it, they are actually rebelling against God because there's so many of the moral laws come straight from Scripture. Don't kill, don't lust, don't take advantage of each other, um, love your neighbor as yourself. It comes straight from Scripture. Do good, don't do evil. And they're trying to reject society, and in rejecting society, they decide to reject moral laws. Therefore, they're actually rejecting God. Now, they don't understand it that way, but because they're trying to understand the whole concept on a intellectual level, they never will understand it. They have to first give in and say, all right, I believe. God, I believe. Please lead me to Jesus. Please lead me to your presence. And someone says, you have to come by Jesus. You have to allow Jesus to change your life. So I'm going to cut this off right here. But that's just a little snippet of, excuse me. And while I was in church yesterday, the minister actually shared a verse, the 5th chapter of Galatians, starting at the 16th verse to the end of the chapter. You get a chance, grab that smartphone you have in your hand and look up Galatians, the 5th chapter, 16th verse, and read it to the end. And you may get a little bit of an understanding of why it's so hard to understand God without having God. You have a great day.